Today. It is February 16th and 10 o'clock in the morning. Let's just give it a couple minutes for others to join, and we'll start the meditation in just a little bit, okay? Thanks a lot for joining. Thank you. And good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thanks for joining this morning. We're about, in fact, it's 10:02 right now. So we'll get going on the meditation. Happy Tuesday. A lot of snow out there right now in Metro Detroit. So I don't know where you're at, but I know a lot of the nation's been getting hit hard, but plenty of snow blowing to do after this. It's been a little chilly as well, but it looks absolutely gorgeous out there. My puppy loves it. She loves playing in the snow. So thanks for joining. Thank you for joining. I feel like let's go for it today. Let's really. I don't want to say put more effort forth. I don't even know what it means to go for it anymore, to be honest with you, because I feel like there's something that feels compelled within me, inspired to dig deeper. But it's not an effortful thing. It's more like I just feel pulled into this, drawn into this experience. And that doesn't really create more effort for it because it's that natural calling. And maybe these words are coming through my mouth to just share with you that you feel inspired to maybe dig a little deeper, just surrender a little bit more, and just come back. Let's just all return home to who we are, that is here right now for us. Okay? Thank you for joining. Thank you. Okay. Just if you haven't already, just getting yourself nice and comfortable. And just being here in this moment. There's nowhere you need to go. There's nothing you need to do right now other than just being present for this meditation. And just taking in a nice deep breath. And just really letting go. Really letting go. I literally mean any stress, any disharmony, any of the past, and any worries about the future. You can always pick these things up after the meditation if that's what you want to do. I want to create a safe space for you so that your mind, your ego, whatever that struggles with completely surrendering and letting go, knows that it's okay if you feel called to pick this stuff up after this meditation, that you have permission. It's okay to do so. But right now, at least for this meditation, just let go of all the past. And let's face it, we've all collected so many beliefs over the years that within our person, within our personality, the self-image of who we are, we've collected all this shame, these beliefs of guilt and all the beliefs of blame of ourselves, blame of others, maybe blame of God even. And that's okay. It's not about making any of that wrong. In fact, none of it is wrong. We just had experiences along the way, and our mind, which judges between good, bad, right, wrong, it's caught in the world of duality, and it records every experience, and it makes a judgment call as to whether it thinks it is a good or bad experience, whether we should be this way or we should be that way. So essentially, who we have become is this idea, this belief, this concept, this mental construct as to simply the self-image of who we think we are. That's all. And that is also the source of all of our problems. And I don't want you to just believe me on that or any of this. I really don't. I don't want you to believe me because I'm not interested in adding more beliefs to your already accumulated beliefs along the way. What I'm inviting you to do is just go on a little adventure with me. Just let your little boy, your little girl out. I don't even want to say that because there's a label behind that. Just empty out so that the only thing left is just the peace of who you are, the emptiness of who you are. And we're just going on a little adventure. An adventure to explore the infinite possibilities of who you are. How could you possibly be any less? You were created in the likeness and the image of God. Do you think God has failed you or failed others because of our so-called flaws? The only flaws that we could describe about ourselves is simply the belief that we are less than we are. That's the only thing that is broken, is the idea and the image of who we think we are. The true self, the core self, is whole, is complete. Your soul, the very essence of who you are, is beyond anything physical, and yet is aware of everything physical. Again, don't just believe me on this. Let's just explore this possibility. What is it that you've been holding on to that you've not been willing to let go of? And would you be willing to just let it go just for this meditation? Or even just for one moment? Just to get a glimpse of that perfect emptiness and formlessness of who you are. And just consider what would happen if we transcended the mind and all the beliefs that we've, and by the way, there are good beliefs. There are good beliefs, and some of these beliefs are helpful for us. The belief that it's possible for us to connect and align with God. It's the belief that it's possible for us to be the love and truth of who we are. So there's many good beliefs. I invite everyone to empty out beliefs, because when you empty out the beliefs, whether we would judge it as good or bad, and it could be that we judge it as good, and it might be the very thing that's holding us back. So I invite everybody to empty out all of it, so that the only thing that remains is the empty, pure soul, the pure beingness, the pure essence of who we are. And that is conscious awareness. Conscious awareness. And as we've been saying lately, it does not take anything physical to be aware of everything going on, or to be aware of everything that's not going on. The core self of who you are has nothing to do with doingness. There's no functioning. Your true self is not a functioning being from the aspect of needing to do anything or doing anything at all. It's simply an observer. It's simply being conscious and aware of all your thoughts, all your beliefs, all your feelings, all your experiences, your five senses. It's aware of your body, your mind. All of these things come and go. At some point in time, your body, your mind, of course, will pass. And all the other things come and go. The only thing that cannot come and go, the only thing that cannot pass, the only thing that cannot be diminished is the core truth of who you are, which is empty, non-physical, formless awareness. And as that awareness, we are able to witness, to observe, to perceive all of these things without any judgment or blame whatsoever. And we do not need one single thing about ourselves, about others, or about life to be any different than it is. Again, I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm inviting you to just dive deep within yourself, connect and align with your true self, where my words are not necessarily, and it's beyond any concepts or beliefs. There's an actual experience of you connecting with that place that we call home. That place where, and I just feel like I want to describe that place right now. And perhaps that you can connect with that truth for yourself. I'm not asking you again to just believe me. I'm just, I don't know. I don't even want to label any words to it. Can you just let go of your holding on to anything? Anything that you're holding on to. Certainly all the material things. But even letting go of all your relationships. And I'm not saying that you give them up. I'm just saying that you give them over to God, to life, whatever that higher power is, that greater force that you want to call. It's really just giving it back over to yourself, ultimately. But just letting go of anything you're holding on to, because sometimes, unconsciously, we don't want to lose certain things, and so there's this effort and this trying that is happening in the background, unconsciously. We might be holding on to somebody we love. We might be holding on to money or a job or a relationship. We might be holding on to our home. We don't have the home or money or any of these things because we're holding on to them. We have them because this is what life and God are providing that is here for our awakening. Everything, absolutely everything, is exactly the way it needs to be. And as I've quoted quite often from my teacher, Maharishi Sadashiva Asham, there is not one single hair out of place in the universe. Powerful, powerful statement. Because we don't need to play victim to any of it. when we are having trust and faith that everything is flowing exactly the way it needs to. So again, you don't need to hold on to one single thing, not even your children or your partner. You don't even need to hold on to life or to God. You are life. You are one with God, with our beloved Creator. I know from a mental point of view, the mind says, what a bunch of nonsense. You're telling me I'm one with the greatest creation of all? I am telling you that, but I'm not asking you to believe me. We're just exploring. But I am inviting you just to completely let go of any single thing that you are holding on to. Even your body. You don't need to hold on to anything in order to have this experience right now. We have this experience because, again, this is what life and God are providing. I also invite you to let go of all control. Let go of all control. Why do we do this? Because when you're trying to control things, who is the you that's trying to control things? Is it your core self? Because your core self doesn't need one single thing to be any different. It's only your mind that needs to have life look a certain way in order for it to experience what it calls happiness. But it's just more beliefs from the mind of what it thinks happiness is, but it can never know happiness. It can only know just brief moments here and there when it gets what it wants. And you might experience this sometimes if you won a bunch of money or you got a job promotion, and it's like temporarily the mind is satisfied and we feel this temporary joy because of it. Maybe you have sex and you enjoy that, and temporarily it shuts off and stills the mind and you enjoy it. Maybe you found the right partner. Maybe you're on this beautiful vacation in Hawaii, in this exotic land, and it's gorgeous. And there's nothing wrong with these experiences, but they're only temporary. It only temporarily satisfies the mind and what the mind thinks we need in order to be happy. The mind does not understand what it means to go beyond the form and connect with the very core, the very soul of who we are, that is already at peace. Already is peace, already is love, already is joy. Because when you empty out all these limiting beliefs, and you empty out all the fears and the shame and the guilt and the blame, all the things that the mind has convinced us is true and we've stored as a belief as to who we are, this person. We've accumulated all this garbage along the way, all this nonsense along the way, and consequently we are not able to see that we are already peace, joy, and love, and we are one with all creation. And just think, I don't know if I want to use that word, just be aware. A Course in Miracles says that there's only fear or love. So what would happen if we just emptied out so completely, we let go of all of our fears right now? The only thing that could remain is peace, is joy, is love. That's the only thing that can remain. Just consider this for a moment. If you empty out fear, it means that no matter what life and God, whatever experience they give you, there's nothing to keep you from resisting it or fighting it. All that's left is peace. All that's left is gratitude and appreciation for life itself. I feel it's very juicy what's coming through right now. And I hope you don't miss out on the opportunity to really just empty out. And I say that for my person as well. I love when the words flow through, but I'm also listening to the words myself, to be honest with you. Because there's something that comes through that is so beautiful, that is such love, that is such, I don't know how to describe it. It leaves me in a state of gratitude. It opens my heart. It opens my small self. It opens that heart. The true self, your soul, your core essence. There's no heart to open. It is just love. It is just peace. It is just joy. And like I said, when you transcend all these limitations, the only thing that remains is you, this beautiful, perfect, whole, complete you. The one that is a witness to all of it without needing to change any of it. Life is indeed beautiful when we lift up the veil of illusion that comes from being the person, that comes from being the thinker. I know if so many people heard this, and maybe if somebody that heard it from the first time may think, are you crazy? We're not the person. We're not the thinker. We're not the ones, using our heads, thinking. And particularly it can be challenging for those who are very intellectual and very intelligent intellectually. But we're not our intelligence, our true intelligence, has nothing to do with the mind and with the thinker. True intelligence taps into and is aligned with the intelligence of the cosmos. It has to be this way, because if all we are is our intelligence of the mind, then what happens when the physical mind dies? What are we left with? But we see that consciousness has to be a part of everything in order for us to simply be aware of anything. If you have all these experiences, but there's no consciousness and there's no awareness, you wouldn't know that anything exists whatsoever. Life in this body could not exist without conscious awareness. What is conscious awareness? It is that invisible force, that empty, non-physical, formless awareness, perception, witness, observation, without a need to fix or change any of it. That's why when I said it is not, you are not a functioning self, because there's no doing. You are not the doer in any way. You are not your actions. That all comes from the person. You are not your actions. The true self of who you are is simply stillness, silent awareness. That's all. And it doesn't need to do anything. Actions expression simply arises out of the consciousness, out of the complete consciousness, the God consciousness. But you are not the doer. You are not the one doing anything. You are a witness to the doer. You are a witness to the thinker. You are a witness to the feeler. You, the true you, is a conscious witness to all of it without needing to change any of it. Some that hear this may think it's strange when I say how powerful this is, because you may think that it's coming from my ego. But I am simply sharing the words that come through that are not my words. So I have nothing to take credit for other than just doing my best to get my person and get my ego out of the way, that something true can shine through, can express itself through me, just as it expresses itself through you and everyone. No one is special, no one is better. Jesus even uttered these words: "You can do all things I have done and even greater things." Even greater things than walking on water, raising the dead, healing the blind. And why did he use these words, even greater things? Isn't it enough to just do as much as he's done? He had to utter those words because otherwise you would have had your person, your mind would have had an idea that you were limited only to do what he has done. No, 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 no. You are infinite. You are unlimited. You are one with the beloved creator of it all. And there is not one single thing that you can imagine that cannot be done. It can all be done. And my teacher said, when you, and I'm paraphrasing, when you transcend the mind, when you transcend all the limited thinking, when you become aware that you are not your mind, and you are not the thoughts, and you are not your person in any way, then you can touch, and these are his words, you can touch the far side of the moon, and you can see the end of the galaxy. If you have a belief that is other than that, I invite you just to release that and let that go. That is just another performance of Maya, the great illusion. But are you ready to lift up, fully lift up the Maya, the curtain of illusion, the veil of illusion? Even just to take a glimpse, take a peek behind the curtain. I love The Wizard of Oz and all the beautiful metaphors that we so long look to the wizard for the answers, only to realize that he was hiding behind the curtain of illusion. But then the good witch comes along and says, Dorothy, you've always been able to return home. Yeah, I feel like I want to cry over The Wizard of Oz right now, but it's such a beautiful metaphor. Are you ready to return home? Are you ready to lift up the veil and see what the truth is of who you are? This beautiful, perfect emptiness that doesn't need fixing, that is not broken, doesn't need healing. Yes, It's okay, and it's good to work on yourself to the best of your abilities. But right now, I'm inviting you to stop working on yourself whatsoever, because that insinuates that it's something in the future to happen, in order for you to recognize the truth of who you are right now in this present moment, and who you are in every present moment. And that's all it takes, the present moment, to let go and dump out all the past, and let go of any thoughts of the future or worries of the future, and just be here now and experience the enormousness. That's not even a good word for it. The empty perfection of who you are. Enormousness, it kind of conjures up some kind of end or limit, and there's not. I personally feel grateful for this moment. And I don't even like to use the word personally, because that takes us back into our person. But I can only express the gratitude that I feel right now for all of you, for God, for Jesus, and my teachers Muji and Sadashiva, and for all the sages and angels who come forth so often, all those beautiful loving lights that come forth, who have come forth to bless you with their love, with their grace. We are all in this together, all of us. And I love, what is it, the Marines, no one gets left behind. It's beautiful. And so for us, no one gets left behind. No one. Because even the ones that we judge as bad or evil, and I say we, it's our mind judging them. And they don't match up to our mind's expectations. And they don't fulfill that, what the mind feels it needs in order to be happy. But when you transcend the mind and you transcend the duality of the mind, all that's left is just, again, when you move beyond the fears, all that's left is love. And when you stop resisting any of it, all that's left is peace. And when you start embracing all of it, all that's left is gratitude. I don't know that I have any other words to share right now. I don't know that there are any words that need to be shared right now. I would say just to sit and bathe in this energy. Just sit and bathe in it. And just open up to the infinite possibilities of who you are right now. And not only open up to those infinite possibilities, be that infinite possibility. And I don't mean to try to do anything here. I just mean, if there's anything left, just surrendering it over to God, to life, so that only you, the empty, true you remains. And we don't need to invite any thoughts in. Just let go of any of the thinking and just immerse yourself in the silence and the stillness of who you are. If the mind does get busy, just really don't pay it any attention. Just notice it and come right back. And just be in this beautiful energy. Just bathe in it, the grace and love of God itself. And if your mind does get busy or drifts in any way, perfect. Just notice it. Just allow it, the thought, to pass on by, and just come back to being in this energy. And if you want to notice the breath and just be aware of the breath, that's great. Or just if you want to just return to the stillness or the silence, that's perfect too. I feel compelled to tell you this right now. When you are walking and living your daily life this day, if there is any busyness of the mind, any thoughts, any feelings going on, as soon as you become aware of them, just return to this place, return back home to the present moment and back home to who you are. Practice that regularly. That's all it is. It's just practice. It's just, oh, okay, I see my mind is being busy. Let me come right back to the present moment. It's not effortful process. It's just a process of awareness. Oh, I notice my mind has drifted. Any thoughts at all are pulling you into your person. And if you want to return to your true self, if you have any thoughts, any feelings, any experiences, notice them. Don't deny them or push them away or fight them. Just simply notice them and return home to who you are, back to the present moment. I practice this regularly, and to be honest with you, I just had this awareness recently of doing this. But I'm clear that the more we practice, especially when we're having what we would perceive as a challenge, and then, like if you're angry or frustrated or disappointed or maybe feeling hatred even, if you can stop and just be aware right there in that moment and return home to this place of the present moment, it's very, very powerful. Because you are not acknowledging those thoughts, those challenges, as if they're real in the first place, and they begin to fall away. Sometimes it only takes one time, sometimes it may take 1,000 times, depending on how deeply steeped we are identifying with that false belief. But the more you practice this and just return home, there will be a point in time where you just remain home. That you are that peace, and the mind will go still, not because we're forcing it to, because we recognize, we fully realize that we are not the thoughts, we are not the feelings, we are not the mind or the body, and there's no sense turning to them any longer. And now just coming back again to the stillness, that silence within yourself. going to begin to bring this meditation to a completion. So if you'd like to continue meditating, please mute or turn your device off. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. And for those of you who are ready to finish up, just taking in a nice deep breath. Making sure you're fully rooted and grounded in this physical body that gets us around. And just moving your body some, stretching. And taking your time, and whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. And let's see, let me move this camera a little bit here. Let's see, I gotta get to my other spot here. Whoops. Did I lose you guys? Oh, sorry. Hang on just a second. I lost my camera. Let's see. Well, hopefully you can still hear me. I think I have to have my camera in before I accidentally pulled it out. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm going to go over to Facebook and just see who's there, and if you guys want to make any comments. And let's see here. Making sure you're fully rooted and grounded in. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm going to go over to Facebook and just see who's there. Okay, if you guys let me turn. Any... Sorry. Okay, so let's see. Sharon. Hi, Sharon. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm probably a little too close here. I've got my. I'm trying to set up my my camera and stuff a little bit differently. But I forgot the camera doesn't matter right now, so all you're going to hear is my sound. So Sharon, good morning. I namaste you. Hi, Cheryl. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Michelle, hi, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And let's see who else. Anybody else? I saw 5 people on there, and there was somebody on YouTube as well, but that looks like everybody I'm seeing. So that's perfect. I know sometimes people would like to stay a little bit more quiet, and that's perfect as well. So, okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. I thought it was a good meditation. Personally, it just, yeah, it moved me. It moved me. So, all right. Let's see. Tomorrow, Zoom and Facebook Live at 7 o'clock in the evening. So perhaps I'll see some of you there. If not, and let's see who's sending me all the nice hearts there. Thank you for whoever that was. I can't tell on that, but thank you for that. Lots of love to all you guys as well. I really appreciate you. Namaste.